Now, I've seen so many other fellow stickmen make this type of similar content, and I was like, man, fuck it. I think it's finally my turn. I tell you about the time I tried the good old Mary Jane. Now, I'm not the type of person who would smoke on an occasional basis, but there is one story I want to tell you guys that happened. So this story happened on a Friday night. Me and the boys were all back at my place. We had a movie on, some snacks, some drinks around us, just the perfect vibe to a start to your weekend. Around halfway through the movie, one of my boys pulled out the good old Mary Jane and started taking a few hits, and he just started offering it around, and eventually, when it got to me, I was a little bit under pressure because, well, I had never smoked before, and I didn't want any of my friends thinking I was a complete and total wuss. So I took it and I just inhaled the most I could possibly inhale, and if you're out there and you're an experienced smoker, you know that's a big mistake if you're just starting to smoke or it's your first time. And immediately I just started coughing uncontrollably. I just could not stop myself. And it just felt like my lungs were completely collapsing. And one of the boys eventually saw how much I was struggling and got up and just immediately started just patting my back as much as he could to try to help me. Like if that was gonna do anything at all. Eventually I stopped coughing and I just thought that was that, like nothing else was gonna happen. But oh boy, was I wrong. As I was just sitting there watching the movie, I just started laughing uncontrollably to everything that was happening in the movie, and I just could not stop myself. I also got extremely hungry, and literally I ran downstairs, threw a bag of popcorn in the microwave, and when it was done, I ate the whole bag without sharing a single piece to anybody. But literally, that's not the worst thing that happened to me this night. At one point, I had smoked so much that literally I started floating out of my body and seeing myself in the third person point of view. I eventually kept floating up and up until I was in the freaking stratosphere of space, and then literally after that I completely woke up the next morning in my bed to a very dry throat and red eyes. And I could not remember anything that happened from last night until eventually my friends told me that I literally was just sitting there on the couch with my mouth open, not blinking whatsoever, just eyes locked on the TV screen. Shit, you could basically say I was just a freaking lifeless dead corpse. And the worst thing was that my friends had recorded the whole thing on their phones. So, moral of the story, if you're a first time smoker, don't be a fucking dumbass like I was.